Jeremy Vincent.
No, but it says.
Oh,
He's what?
Jeremy Vincent.
Okay. He's what?
He's on the
Oh,
screen.
he's on there. Okay.
How that's. I'm not sure.
Oh. That's good. Oh, it's just, I was just gonna ask you if you knew that you can, when you get onto the mail, you can download and then you can enlarge it.
Oh, okay, download it and enlarge.
Yeah.
Your eyesight's starting to fail there.
Mine is, these glasses, I'm gonna have to get new ones. Can't see or read.
So you can get it like to this size.
Oh, okay,
Need some help just to
yeah, but you know, we got that, so what,
Yeah,
can read that.
but there, I mean, there's stuff in the packet.
Resolution 7325 for position. Yes, it's 11, 12. You guys pass it.
Oh, what did we do? That's that resolution for the comp plan.
Okay, it's 8:30.
He's trying to interact with the world. It's time to give him those interactive toys. Did they let me into the meeting? Yes. All right, I love
Please
you.
all call the Animal Shelter Board.
Hi, Bobby. Hello, hello. Oh, I can't hear you guys yet. You're still muted.
Now we're unmuted.
Excuse me.
Hello, Jeremy. Jeremy,
Maybe. Yes, I can hear you now.
we're, first thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes from October 16th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from October 16th.
Is there a second?
I can second. Is
Okay,
it just Tom and you, Terry?
No. We have Tom Kudo and Tony Ziesler here also.
Oh, okay.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the minutes from October 16th. All those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carried. Minutes are approved. Next thing on the agenda is public comment. Public comment.
Sure. Joanne Spooner. I see, of course, that the agenda has building remodeling and that we really are at a quagmire right now, trying to decide what we're gonna do as opposed to having the city and the county buildings jointly owned and all of that. But along with that, I just feel like I really want the board to think about that. You need to step up and say that as of right now, the county really needs to be responsible and take care of the animal shelter. And I would prefer that people don't say, well, it should be a nonprofit. It needs to go to a nonprofit. At this point in time, it's not realistic to be a nonprofit. So if you're going to go out and say that, then I would appreciate, okay, then you start finding some funding for this. You know, capital improvement fundraiser or whatever, but just to say it should be when really it isn't realistic now, it undermines it undermines the animal shelter's importance in my mind anyway. So I would like to see either, don't say that right now. Let's concentrate on what we need to get done with the city and county issues. And then see, what can we do? How could we make it a nonprofit? And that the board needs to help facilitate that. They need to help find funding. We can't just, all of us old ladies do it. So, thank you.
Okay. Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Okay, public comment is closed. First thing on the agenda for discussion and possible motion is hours of operation. And Dawn,
I gotta get my calendar. Okay. So next week, I am taking off Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then there's a holiday for Thursday, Friday. So we are technically open on Monday and apparently a half day on Wednesday. Is that what the, I'm asking that we are closed on Monday and Wednesday. There's only gonna be one person there on Monday without me. That one, it's only me and one other person that works Monday and Fridays. That's it. So I clean all morning. Then I do the other 10,000 jobs and everything in between. Wednesday, I didn't realize we were half a day, but Wednesday we have the opportunity to take all of our dogs that are left and probably 10 or plus cats to fix up at, it was a last minute thing. They had a rescue cancel and we've been waiting to get in there with our dogs. And I told Nicole that we have to do that. So there's gonna be one person there on Wednesday. One person cannot clean all the dogs and all the cats and answer all the phones and deal with adoptions all by themselves. It's way too much. It's too much. So I'm asking that week that we are closed that Monday and Wednesday so that the staff can do their job without getting interrupted. We do have a couple people coming in. I've got 2 people coming in to adopt actually on Thanksgiving because they're dogs. The dogs need to go. They're young. They need to get out of there. So that was our way, because otherwise they'd have to wait a whole nother week. So we've already made appointments and arrangements for at least 2 dogs and a cat for next week. So they're gonna uphold those appointments, but I can't have them having to worry about the phone. They'll check messages. They're not gonna answer the phones. It's just, every time you answer the phone, it's a whole nother half an hour to an hour thing that everyone has to deal with. So they'll answer messages, but I want these animals fixed and I want them adopted. After that week, hopefully we'll only have 1 dog that needs to be adopted in the building. And then I'm going through our surrender list because I've got 20 plus people waiting. I'm gonna take a few dogs at a time because we have to have strays. And every time I get strays, there's at least 2 or 3 dogs that come in all at once. So I have to be able to have those kennels for them.
so your request is that basically the animal shelter will be closed to the public next week.
Yeah.
Only open by appointment.
Yes, yes. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up, we are open the 1st and 3rd Saturday of the month. I have 1 employee that works on the weekend. And he's having a really hard time doing adoptions and dealing with people. So for that 1st and 3rd Saturday, at least until maybe by God's good grace, I don't know, I can get another employee someday. We can't keep maintaining this. We're getting put into the ground. There's just not enough of us. And I know everyone, cleaning the animals is one small piece of the thing, and it takes probably with 2 or 3 people, it takes almost to 10 o'clock to clean the cages. With 1 person doing all the dogs and the cats, it takes almost till 1 o'clock, till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. When we're open, it takes longer. And now that person is gonna end up going over their allowed hours. I can't work 7 days a week. It's not gonna, I'm already working 5 and it's not even 38.75 hours. It's way over normal. So we need to do something about Saturdays. Now, I don't, maybe eventually we can open it back up. But right now it's a strain. For those Saturdays. So if we do it by appointment, the same, if we do appointment only and we're closed, it stops the random people from coming in and spending an hour looking at cats because they want to adopt one and then they leave and they don't adopt anybody. You know what I mean? So we have to kind of appointment only, at least for now, to get serious adopters, and then we can spend that time and they'll actually take a pet home. You know what I mean? So, but
So is
that's
that
what I'm asking.
okay? So again, to be closed next week, except for appointments only.
Mhm.
And then I don't know, what do you guys think about being closed on Saturdays?
We're only open the first and third.
Right,
Well, she's saying that by appointment only.
By appointment only.
That sounds reasonable.
That means the door is locked, and unless you have, unless you're, have a stray or something, that door will be open. to you. But
That's the way it is now, or it's open now?
on the first and third Saturday, we are open, but I have one employee.
What you want to do by appointment?
I want to do by appointment only so that employee can concentrate on taking care of the animals. Because what happens when people come in and they're not done cleaning, they have to help those people,
I don't see a problem
can't-
with that,
you know?
but I think,
It's just-
that information out to the public so they know.
Well, we'll post it and then it'll be changed on the website and all that stuff. But at least if we can do that, that gives me time because I don't know what Saturday we're on right now.
well, the first one's coming up pretty quick.
November 1st. Okay, so this weekend is the 22nd. That's the third Saturday. So,
We've already said we're gonna be closed. By appointment.
right, but this Saturday I haven't. I mean, I can do that. I can start that this weekend. And say, starting today, first and third Saturdays we're appointment only, and next week we will be closed. Monday through Friday. I can put due to the holiday and staff shortage or something, but appointments only. I'll think of something. But I would like to start it as soon as possible.
Okay, but
But you were going to be open on Tuesday, you said?
We're not open on Tuesdays or Thursdays
Oh, okay, I see.
anyways.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be there, so there's nobody to help.
Thursday's the holiday,
Yeah.
Friday's the day after the holiday. Okay, I got you. So the whole week is going to be closed.
I make a motion that we go along with what you just mentioned. It sounds very reasonable.
I'll second it.
okay, the motion has been made and seconded to close the animal shelter except by appointment next week. Which is the
It's the 24th,
23rd, well,
Monday's the 24th.
The 23rd, are you okay with?
week of the 23rd. But that's a Sunday,
Oh, okay.
Sunday.
Yeah, I'll put week.
For the week of the 23rd, except by appointment only. And the first and third Saturdays will only be appointment only going forward.
That'll be the 6th and the 27th, or I'm sorry, 6th and the 20th of next month. Yeah, by appointment, you'll start by appointment only.
And not this Saturday. I thought you also wanted this
It will
Saturday.
be this Saturday too, if we can. I mean, we do have already appointments coming in, but it helps. Otherwise, it just takes all day, because you can't be rude to people when they come in, so
You want to include this Saturday as
I
a,
do want to include the Saturday, if we can, absolutely.
include that in the motion.
That's the 22nd of November.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded. Any further discussion?
You want to read that back, Connie?
Just trying to, what date is,
22nd.
motion by Ziesler, second by Kudo to approve closing the shelter to the public, open by appointment only the week of November 23rd, 2025, and changing the current Saturday hours to appointment only starting November 22nd, 2025.
Sounds good.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried. This is something we had discussed before, about rabies vaccination for the staff. Or possibility of the vaccination policy. Did you find out anything more about it? Okay, I called the state, the public health department and everything, and basically they don't have anything that requires that. They're saying that's probably more of an OSHA thing. And they were saying that, or, you know, it'd come under workers' comp. It was basically about, whether, I mean, you're vaccinated against rabies because of your position, you have to be. But as far as the other 3 part-time employees, whether we need to make that a requirement or not, it doesn't seem like there's any policy or state law that I could find that's,
It's not a state law. It would be a requirement from the person, the employer that is employing the employee to safeguard them from rabies.
but if you got something in that had,
Right, because we get animals in all the time.
right, but
But
the,
it's not a state law. It's a requirement by most humane societies, veterinary clinics, vet schools, vet tech schools, that they require their animals to be or their people to be vaccinated.
animals too.
Because what's gonna happen is if one of the employees gets bit, if they don't have that rabies vaccine, now they're bit, it's under workman's comp, and they're gonna end up with a series of rabies vaccines that we all could have avoided if they just were rabies vaccinated to begin with.
But the likelihood of that is pretty, I mean, we haven't had any rabies here in Russ County for
So,
how long? I guess the other thing is that if the rabies vaccinations are 2 shots, and I think we looked at that, you had already gotten prices on this for a little, say $450. And whether we require them to have it or not, if they are bit or whatever, and the animal is rabid, then they have to have a series of shots, and it's much more expensive. I mean, because that's a,
and it would be on the county's workman's comp.
well, that's high enough the way it is right now.
Well, I'm just saying. Now, I can ask the girls if their insurance covers that. And if they have to pay a partial, maybe the county can reimburse them. Say they get their rabies vaccine through their insurance, because that's how I got all of mine.
Right,
None of my employers have ever paid for my rabies, except my first employer at the health shelter in the cities. But the other ones I paid through my insurance.
but
But
they don't have insurance. I mean, do they?
Dakota might have insurance through like other means, and I think has is still on her dad's, but I'm not sure.
Okay,
But if they don't have insurance, maybe the county would be willing to reimburse what their insurance doesn't pay. I'd have to ask them.
well,
Talk about this a while back.
last
Been talked-
meeting,
Well, this
Really?
rabies vaccine, I think, has been brought up several times. I mean,
Yeah.
before I got here, it was brought up.
I mean, even before the last meeting, I thought a while back we had discussed this.
I don't know.
but the point is, do we want to require it, and then they would have the option of signing out of it, or, you know,
Mhm.
taking it,
Excuse me.
but, or should we in effect say it's a requirement that you can opt out of, but if you do get it,
County won't pay for your treatment.
well,
maybe.
no, well, but no, but, you know, this is really a cost of the animal shelter, and so the animal shelter should pay for the shot.
The question, how often do you have to have these shots?
I got,
A year or every?
no, I got my first shot in 1996 or something, my series, and then, my next shot, because they did a titer in between that time, my next rabies vaccine was in 2006. And then I just got my other rabies vaccine, either it was this year or last year. I just got another one. So from 1996 until 2025, I've had 3 rabies vaccines,
And-
but I've had titers in between them.
I know, but my question is, from a medical standpoint,
Mhm.
how often do you have to have it?
I had mine 3 times. There isn't so if you get a rabies vaccine like I did in 1996, then I went to vet tech school in 2006. I went to my doctor, they checked a titer. So they drew blood to check for antibodies and it was low. So they gave me another rabies vaccine. Now, if my titer was high, I wouldn't have gotten another one.
I see.
So does that make sense? And then when just this last year, I hadn't had one since 2006. So I had my doctor check my blood for antibodies and I was low again. So then I got another one. So it just keeps them. So if you're a person, you get one, it could be 10, 15 years maybe before you get another one. Or 5 years, depending on where your titer's at.
Okay.
Because most of the time, the doctor's gonna want to check your titer before they vaccinate you for rabies.
Right, well.
And that's,
There's no set timeline on how long these things
No.
are effective. Okay.
no,
Okay,
no.
that's what I was trying to get at.
Should we require it for any new hires?
Well, we only have 3 part-time employees. It's. I guess I do think that they should have the option of
They want to get it, yeah.
if they want it, or they can deny it, or, sign a waiver or something. But the other thing is, you're gonna try and have it paid through their insurance, but I'm going to play devil's advocate and say their insurance won't cover it. Then should we have that paid out of the animal shelter expenses?
How are we currently paying for yours?
I paid for, nobody, I did mine. Mine went through my insurance.
Did we have a policy where, when you hired her, that she had to have a rabies shot?
No, but
Yeah.
her position requires it.
Position requires it, which is a position that the state mandates, right? And so therefore, the county has to take care of it. The rabies shot.
No.
I think
No.
it's not like a state thing. It's more of like, okay, so the people I worked for the first time at the Humane Society, I could not be employed there and work with the animals unless I had a rabies vaccine. When I went to,
That was the shelters.
that was a shelter in 96. And then when I went to vet tech school, I could not go to vet tech school unless I got that rabies vaccine. That was their rules. It's not a state rule, but most, and probably I would say 100% of certified vet techs, probably veterinarians are
Okay.
all vaccinated for rabies.
Okay,
But it's not a
the
state law as
state,
far as I know.
state requires that every county has to have a animal control person, correct?
I believe so. Well, is it county or city?
It's not county. It's
Because I know some counties that don't have humane officers.
It's not a requirement on the part of the state.
for what?
For them
Have
to-
an animal control person,
Humane officer,
a humane
I
officer.
believe, but I don't know if that's county or city though.
Right. Because the city's got to have an animal shelter, or municipality has to, not the county.
And that's an animal shelter. I don't
Right.
know if that's a humane officer per se. Because there are counties in Wisconsin that don't have humane officers or animal control.
Okay,
There's a few of them. Now,
So
but
it's a-
most counties have some sort of an animal shelter. If they don't have an animal shelter, then from what I've worked with before, because I've worked with other counties, they have that township or that city or that village has somebody that they've appointed to hold those stray dogs. So you can do that without a shelter.
Dog catcher.
Basically a dog catcher, yeah.
but so does the state then require municipalities such as a city
Mhm.
to have a person, staff?
As far as I know, city would have to have a.
I think they do, but I don't know where, I'd have to look that up. I mean, I'd have to figure out where that law is. Because say the animal shelter just poof went away. Well, someone's gotta be responsible, whether they want to be or not. So somebody from the city would have to deal with their own animals and appoint someone to house them, take care of them, and do whatever they do with them. And then each municipality would also have to figure out what they're gonna do with their dogs or cats or whatever they do. But I don't know where the law is. I don't know what the,
I was under the impression that the state does require like a city.
I think they
have
do,
Somebody on staff. So
I believe they do, but I don't know if it has to be like an animal shelter, but there has to be some place for stray animals to
no,
go.
I'm just saying that I think it requires that a person
They might,
have somebody on staff who then
right,
figures it all out.
and they might, but I would have to look it up. 'Cause I'm
And
not
if
sure.
that's the case, if there is such a requirement, then I think it bears upon that municipality to provide the vaccine. I mean, that's the way I see it.
I just don't know where the laws are.
So what do we want to do about this? I'll look into it some more, or again, because it sounds like we can kind of make our own policy, decide on that, and whether,
What it boils down to is, are we kind of looking at a liability issue? So we need a policy basically that should state that if you're not gonna get the shot, you need to sign a waiver.
Yep.
well, we already talked about that.
Yeah, so
Well, where's?
upon hire, anybody hired, current employees or anybody hired in the future at the animal shelter is required to get a rabies vaccination. And obviously, you don't want to force a vaccine on somebody, but if they don't take it, they need to sign a waiver saying the county's not liable if they contract rabies through a bite.
Yep.
That's what you need to do. And then the county, you're gonna have to figure out how this is being paid for. So either if the county is requiring it for
Have to pay.
employees,
Yes.
then
They
they
have-
should pay for it for that employee. And if there's a waiver, then that's on that employee. They're liable on.
The school district had something similar with that issue.
Mhm.
Oh,
And the same thing, if you signed off as a waiver, then the school district didn't
Right.
take care of it. But if you took I know my wife did, and the schools paid for it. Either the school or the insurance company that you
Right.
have. So I make a motion that we go ahead with doing the requirement for any new hires or existing employees that they take a shot
Vaccination.
or vaccination. And they have the option of,
Maybe you should get the policy ready first and then.
Yeah,
Besides making a motion, maybe that's,
you want the policy first? Fine, okay.
and then act on the
Because-
policy to.
because then you act on the policy.
Then act on the policy.
Okay, so this is the policy then, okay? And then they have the option of opting out. And if they opt out, the county is not reliable.
Yeah.
Okay?
Maybe we can't act on that.
No,
No,
got to come up with,
We have to come up with a policy.
Policy first.
Policy.
right.
The motion really can't.
Okay, but get the motion, but I'm saying this should be the,
Consent for the committee to have Terry and Dawn bring forth the policy.
policy. If you can do that, that's fine. 'Cause it looks like for 3 employees, 450, so you're looking at 1,400.
it's two, because there's two shots.
It's 450 is per shot. It's 2 shot.
That's your first initial. When I first got mine, I had 2 shots. Every time after that, I've only had 1.
Shot. Okay. That's the initial. So the approximately 2,500.
Okay, Jeremy, you have any?
Chrysler, let's get this done. Let's protect employees in the county by making sure they get vaccinated properly.
And this will have to go through. Field.
Mhm. So I just have it where, You and Dawn will work on the policy and bring it back to the December meeting. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Or future meeting.
Okay.
You can't get it done. Future meeting.
Okay,
Have to
like I
like,
say, I had talked to the public health about this and they said, there probably wasn't any law that we had talked about. And that it's probably maybe an OSHA thing or workers' comp. And I tried, they also, there's a shelter medicine program from DATCAP.
Mhm.
And I tried to get a hold of that person, but when you try to get a hold of the state, good luck. So I will still call and try and get a hold of that person,
Well-
but I didn't.
Cause like I said, it's not. I don't believe it's anywhere like a state law that I
Right.
don't think so. It's more of the company protecting their employees and protecting
Policy,
in a policy that they made because. I mean, now the two places I worked, I was not allowed to sign a waiver. It was either you do this or you're not
You're
working
not
with
hired.
animals, period. But I get people should be able to opt out if that's their choice. I get that.
right,
But I might try to contact some other shelters. Cause the one I first started working at is still in, and maybe I can find their they drafted that policy. I mean, it was a long time ago, but they're still there.
Right.
So. Cause most or I can contact one of the,
well, right.
vet tech schools,
Right, too.
Yeah.
Tech schools might have
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
what their policy was and we can kind of maybe figure that out.
We're not starting
We're not starting
reinventing the wheel.
reinventing the wheel.
Okay, moving on. Monthly budget report. And would you start with that?
We'll start with the easy. Alright. So building fund, there's no concerns.
Okay, and let's do it by number.
Oh. That's 282, isn't that the first one?
No, 28,
Oh, 281. Oh, you want to go with the good one first?
yeah, we'll go with the 281.
Okay.
Well,
All right, so this is the animal shelter budget. So obviously there's concerns. That's the one that's always concerns. But if you look at this highlighted purple here that I have on this sheet.
47.
Yeah, so. And I did not, and the reason I highlighted them, because I was gonna explain this, I didn't put these on the concern list. For the memberships, because I think there was an extra membership in there that I wasn't aware of for the, I think it renews every couple years. And it's for the shelter management system. So that's not gonna, it's over 247.91, but that's not gonna, I'm not concerned because that's there's no more money coming out of that,
Oh,
out of the membership.
what number are you on? Oh, the 247, the membership thing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Got it.
So, and my only concern about this, so remember. So we'll go past that one, that's not gonna go up anymore. Then this animal shelter training, so I'm a little confused on this one because my parentheses are flip-flopped. So does it mean I am over $75.61, or do I have $75.61 in there, or am I over by $1,575.61? Why are my parentheses in the middle?
The parentheses in the middle is that there was a negative number, so you put money in there? Because it's a negative expense.
Why is it in
This is
the,
all expense.
So you budgeted 1,500 and you actually spent 1,575.61.
but I put a bunch of money in there.
That's what
Remember
I'm
all the
saying,
grants that I got?
The negative, that's a negative expense for this month. It's just for this
But
month.
why, okay, but the over budget is all the way to the right.
Right, the 1575 meant that you spent 75.81 more than your 1,500.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that training budget, just an FYI for you all. I currently have my CBT certification that I have to pay for at the end of the year. I also have my humane officer certification that I have to pay for at the end of the year. I have to fill all that paperwork out before December 15th, and I have piles of it that I haven't even started yet. Those are at least $150 to $200 a piece.
Those aren't paid for yet.
We can look and.
And it was stated that those would be paid for because I'm an employee and I technically, the humane officer is something. I've been a CBT for years.
So we're looking at maybe
So,
a possible $400 additional training.
Yes, that I don't have.
It's not on here.
Now, I don't know if it's in my contract, or whatever, that you guys pay for that. I know most places do, like my other jobs paid for my certification,
Mhm.
but I can't, the CBT, if I have to pay for that, that's one thing, but the humane officer, I can't do them both. I just don't have that kind of money. That's gonna cost me, but there's no
Aren't we
money left
obligated to
in.
pay for that?
I think,
It's a requirement that I'm a certified humane officer.
Haven't we paid this in the past? I thought,
Well, it's every 2 years, so I haven't had to pay yet.
oh, yeah, okay.
Because I remember I went in 2022.
Yeah.
And then last year is a even number, so it's odd numbers. So unfortunately, my CBT and my humane officer are due at the same time. And then you also have to remember that my CBT CE hours are 15 hours every 2 years, and my humane officer are like 30. So that requires me to try to go get free CE, which I did at Las Vegas, other places. Otherwise, I gotta pay for all that stuff.
but some of that training that you had counts for that already, right?
Not for yes, for my CE,
Right.
just not for my bill.
Right.
My bills.
And when does this have to be paid by?
It's December 15th. That's when you have till the 30th,
Right.
but usually
Yeah.
they want you to
Yeah.
get it in there earlier. I guess my question is, am I paying for that myself, or how are we doing that?
If it's required by the county.
It's
to have-
required for me to be a CBT and a
Okay,
humane officer for
alright.
this job.
Then if it's required, then the county has to pay for it.
We already said for you to.
You did, but
go
I'm just
ahead and
making you
pay
aware that that budget's gonna be over probably
the issue.
another
New dish. right.
$400.
Okay, so that's an additional.
Terry?
No, I don't think so at this time. We'll look at it again in December. Well, when are you going to pay it? Are you going to get it in so it'll hit?
Trying to get it in as soon as
December.
possible. If I can get it in by December 15th,
It's
Well, it's gonna miss-
Before our next meeting.
It's going to miss the budget for next month.
well, December
She has to
15th,
pay- she has to pay it before the 18th, right?
or it's the 18th of December is,
She has to have it in by the 15th.
I don't necessarily, it has to be in by the 30th.
I just wanted to want a motion for her to go ahead and pay it now and
Yeah,
On the agenda though, is it?
well, it's part of the budget review forms and everything.
That's why I'm bringing it up, because my budget will go over if I pay for this via credit card through the county, by probably $400.
And I think we're discussing over under on these
But-
things,
I
so
want to make sure they'll cover it.
Isn't
Jeremy,
Isn't that why we have like the budget forms? Because like if we have a surprise like this, the budget will go over, then we discuss it and then we,
after the fact, yeah,
yeah.
and that's why
And then
she's
we-
bringing it up ahead.
well, now we're being proactive, so.
Right.
Yeah, we're just not used to being proactive, I guess.
Well, I'm
No,
just
that's-
letting y'all
that's not a
know.
good joke. But let's make sure she gets certified and I'm sure we can find $100.
Okay, so do you want to do a motion?
I think just to safeguard us to make sure that.
Okay, so that it is approved officially by us.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody want to make a motion to approve paying approximately $400?
I'm guessing, because I haven't even gone in there yet. I haven't paid for humane, I think the humane officer is a couple hundred, and I want to say the CBT is,
Okay, pay for the humane
150.
officer and the CBT
I just don't,
dues by December 31st.
yes,
We want to make it
What's it
not to exceed 500.
CBT,
we do that. Not to exceed, I would do not to exceed 500, because they go up every year and I
Okay,
haven't
not
looked
to
at it yet, so I don't know how much they are. But I know they're
What if
not,
it's even larger than that? Like, why don't we just give ourselves room not to exceed 1,000 so that if it comes in at 550, we don't have to have the conversation again.
It won't, but
Well, I need a motion
I will make that motion and then I would put in there
up to 1,000,
to 1,000. That seems
750.
maybe 750. Yeah. 750. That,
I'll second that.
Out of what budget?
the training one, which is,
339.
line 339.
This is in the general budget, budget 281.
I'll just put it out of the animal shelter budget.
Yeah.
With that,
Okay, would you?
to have the county pay for the humane officer and CVP training up to $750 from the animal shelter budget. Got more in there?
By December
31st.
31st.
It can be December 31st. That gives me, just in case I can't get it, it has to be done by the 31st. And don't put, training, put, renewal of certification is what it is, basically.
Both of them.
Both of them are certification renewal.
Renewal of certification.
Okay, got it.
Cool.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded.
That's about that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed say no. Motion carried.
Okay, next line. So the equipment line, I didn't put that as a concern. Because it's not over the 5,000 and there's gonna be no more equipment that I'm aware of that's gonna be ordered. So it's not gonna go up. So I didn't-
What is it?
That's the security system.
Oh, that wasn't planned for. in
Right,
budget.
and so I didn't know where to put it, so I was told to put it there,
Okay,
because it's not over 5,000.
yep.
Okay.
No, that's good.
And then obviously the shelter supplies are over by 704.17. And then the animal supplies are over by $4,607.72. So I increased that.
3,000 and 9,000 respectively then.
Yeah, I guesstimated that for the end of the year, kind of, so, because I know there's gonna be probably more animals that need rabies vaccines, or we've gotten, thank you, all of these ladies here and everybody else who's donated. I haven't had to buy litter for like 2 weeks because it just keeps coming in the mail, which is wonderful. So that's awesome. So as long as, the donations for, food supplies, litter and all that stuff come in, we don't have to get, 20,000 pounds, but if they stay steady to where I don't have to keep, because I was going to Walmart twice a week shopping for litter and, every once in a while kitten food or, so that's been good. So I haven't had to do that. So if that keeps up, that's gonna keep that animal shelter, supplies down and the shelter supplies down. The only thing on the animal shelter supplies that is gonna keep going up is rabies vaccines, any kind of veterinary care. I haven't had anybody really in for a minute. We've had some spay and neuters over there and a couple rabies vaccines, but nothing significant. So hopefully that won't go up any more than it is, but I do suspect there will be a few things in there that, like rabies and stuff, that's gonna increase that, but hopefully not too much.
Why don't you explain again that animal shelter supplies, 347 is like.
It's just everything that's not veterinary care.
Right.
It's,
And animal supplies,
well,
348.
So
Animal Supplies 348 is mostly veterinary. There's a lot of vet stuff on there, other than spay neuter.
Right.
So, and then also supplies, salmonectin, vaccinations, dewormers, anything that has to do with specifically the animals being treated for things. The other one is more of,
like food.
well, I do have a food line,
Oh, okay.
which is good, but the other one is for anything other than litter. Because we had split, the food and the shelter supplies, I think, had been together at once and we kind of split it off. just because it was getting monstrous, but
Yeah, you have noted on here that they will be over for the year
Yeah.
and we'll just have to, in effect, we're using, well, this will come up again when they hit
Mhm.
each line, but, the donations. So,
and the only way to offset those is through the general funds. But I try to keep that at a even keel because I don't want to go too far because those donations I want to keep at the shelter.
okay, let's look at, anything more on the expenditures? We can see those are the ones that are the biggest.
Yeah, and so with this report here, at the end of the projected revenues for the end of the year on this sheet are negative $29,670.87.
Right, and let's,
That's due to the city's share.
right, and I don't know why they put, what?
They haven't paid that yet?
They're not paying it.
They're not, city isn't paying anything. Remember?
It says 2024.
Oh, it was 24 they backed out?
Well, 425. Yeah,
Okay.
so,
So when the finance did this,
Right.
they put that as a negative value in
Negative.
here. So I had to
Right,
calculate it as a negative value.
and I don't know why they put it in there because it wasn't in the budget to begin with. So why did they put it in as a negative value to take it out? Because it wasn't in the budget to begin with. So that's one thing. The other thing is under animal shelter donations, she's got we budgeted 4,000, she's got 8,000. And so that's over, and that's going to pay for these overages in the other line items that we just talked about.
Right.
I mean, again, the county doesn't like that because they gotta go line item or line, but that's where that goes. And then and one positive thing, we notice we have the new chipping services. So
$280 so far,
in shipping,
which is good.
What is that?
Microchips.
microchips,
Oh.
that's the new thing that we took out your bamboo.
Mhm. And that other line that says shelter gift fund, I don't know why that $45 is in there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that just hit this month. We'll have to,
It must be accidental.
we can check that.
So anyways,
Okay, any questions on this slide?
Yeah, a question. You mentioned the city hasn't paid anything. What about the revenue that they receive from the dog tags and
we got that. It was like 2,000, wasn't it? Why is it not on here?
No, because that goes in, we don't get the doggy revenue until at the end of the year.
But I thought they gave it last time, there was like $2,000 on here. I could've
We
sworn.
said that that's what we thought the city.
Oh, okay, but you don't know. Okay, okay,
No.
okay. So it's not on here.
so at the end of the year is where you receive those funds.
Well, the same thing for the
County, yeah,
county.
yeah.
And they're coughing up money now because the penalty goes up for not paying.
So the question is, why is it only 2,000 for the city and the county brings in like $20,000-$30,000?
We've got a lot of.
People in the county, less in the city, I guess.
That's in the city, or you don't just,
We had a
This much.
raise on,
We raised the dog licenses, what, 2 years ago?
you know,
Something like that. And I mean, that's why whenever we try and get another half-time person, well, how are you going to pay for it? Well, we've already raised the dog licenses. And we also raised, was it last year?
Adoption.
The adoption fees and everything. We
That
don't,
started dog license was January 2024, and adoption fees were 2024, beginning.
I thought that was this year, 2025, the adoption fees went up. I don't know, but it's in one of the last 2 years.
I don't know, it's been so
We
long.
don't want to make the adoption fee so high that people won't be adopting. I mean, the whole purpose is to get the animals out
Mhm.
and moving and, well, keep
Right.
turnover going, if you
Right,
will.
right.
But, that's something we can look at again. But, we have no other sources of funds. So, okay, any further questions on, so for dog taxes, we have 35,000 in here. I think I think last year we ended up with 36,000 something actual. And this year we will be getting the city, but again, it isn't.
How much did the city in the past, when they actually did pay everything, on these licenses? How much did we get from the city?
We didn't get anything.
Ever?
So the city paid us like 48,000 or 60,000 to support the animal shelter. We did not get, and in lieu of that, they did not pay us dog tax.
Oh, so how much was it? On the average, about 50,000 roughly?
Well, it depended on the year.
Yeah.
They had.
It was what,
the-
40%?
It was 40% of the total cost minus a few things,
Okay,
but they
40
pulled out. And
Total cost.
But they pulled out, so now.
now we're on our own. But again, most of the, well, over half of the animals and everything are from the city.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to, point this thing out now is, in the past, they paid 50, on average, let's say 50,000, but they didn't, tell us how much they collected in terms of the dog licenses and cat licenses or whatever.
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no?
We do not, we simply said we're not doing cat licenses, period, because that's a city thing. That's not a county requirement. Dog licenses are a county.
County.
Cat licenses are only in the city. The,
Should still go to the shelter though.
But
Cat license.
because they backed out, we should be getting cat licenses
Yeah.
and dog licenses, because now technically, I know that there's a levy and the people are paying for the animal shelter operations, but
No,
nobody's paying for animal control. I mean, if you have the levy and everybody that lives here is paying for the shelter to operate, right? That's what that's for.
that's
But
why they
now-
said
but now
they
you
were double
also-
charged.
Right, but now you also have humane, who's paying, so that's supposed to pay for operations, or is that supposed to be paying for animal control humane officer? Because something's not getting paid. Cause if I'm running now Monday, let's not talk about Monday, but anyways, Monday. So I was about ready to sit down and start finishing the rest of my citations at about 10:30 is when I got done helping clean and making sure, helping people, and I sat down, got my computer going, and not even 2 minutes in, phone call. I got dogs out here, they're killing my cats, to this and that and other thing, so I had to go round them up. Get everything loaded up, I had to come back in because I forgot something. There was another phone call, I wasn't even outside 5 minutes, guys, getting ready to go get these dogs. Another call, hey, there's a stray dog over there in Hawkins. So the call I'm going to is over here. The second call is over here. That leaves one employee. Now I'm running and I'm like, well, they're gonna have to wait. Obviously, I gotta get these dogs, so they killed a bunch of his cats. I get them, bring them in. No sooner do I get pictures taken, getting their paperwork, getting their numbers, and getting ready to get them in the computer, owner calls. He's like, I'm on my way, I'm really sorry, blah, 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 blah. So he gets his dogs. Now, mind you, I still haven't even called the other lady with the other stray dog. So he's coming in now. I gotta get his dogs out and discuss rabies and licensing and all this fun stuff. And you need to call this guy and you're gonna apologize. Cause you're lucky, because his dogs went after his cattle as well, and it could have been a whole big catastrophe, but it wasn't. The guy was nice enough to get him and put him in a shed for the night, because it was late when this happened. But that's just kind of a thing. So it wasn't until then I had to call the other lady with that dog, and she didn't want to bring it in. And that took about a half an hour, that whole conversation, pictures. Maybe I know who the owner is, blah, 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 blah. So it's almost 12:30, 1 o'clock by the time I get to my citations. But I guess my point is, who's paying for animal control? If the levy pays, so is the levy paying for the humane officer and the animal control?
Mhm.
Or is the levy paying for the operations?
Paying for.
Because when I have to run, and mind you, I'm only one person. I got nothing done on Monday because of all those phone calls and all this running here, running there, because I only got one employee at the shelter.
Dick's the only one. Yep.
And it took him till 1:30, 2 o'clock to get done cleaning. And then
And he leaves it.
there's still laundry, there's still dishes, there's still, so
Yep.
who do you think's doing that? I am. Right? And then I didn't get any citations done on Monday. Mind you, I had over 80+ citations to write. It took me several weeks because I'm constantly interrupted, but my point is, what is the levy paying for? Operations or humane officer, animal control? Because
I would say the levies to pay the whole shoot match. I mean,
Mhm.
basically, we've got one
the whole
budget,
shooting match, but
it's the we're micromanaging this stuff, okay? But anyway, that's besides the point.
so I'm just bringing that up because it's getting kind of tough for me to have to play all these roles and just leave in the middle of stuff. What if I was in the middle of a euthanasia? Because I'm the only one that can do it. That has happened. And it's like, something's got to give. I always ask people, is there any way you can get the dogs in? He couldn't because he was in the middle of building the beaver dam or something for the county. I don't know what he was doing. So, obviously I had to go do that. But if there was another employee there, that wouldn't have been an issue.
I like that, building a beaver dam.
He was
for the
doing
town.
about a beaver dam anyways. So I think,
Beavers take care of that.
so
And this is with like either the city police or the sheriff's department, would they help out with some?
no, they don't put any animals in their vehicles.
They won't.
They'll meet them there, and I get it.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, a lot of the animals that we get are full of mange and fleas and lice. And I wouldn't want to put one in the back of my squad car either. I get that.
Yeah.
But they will meet people at the shelter, but there are times, someone isn't going to wrangle up a couple dogs they don't know. I mean, the dogs were nice and everything. They just made a bad decision. So I understand that. So they do help out and they'll, or if it's a little baby kitten, I've had them bring in a little teeny kitten before. But I guess I'm just putting it out there, like, are we losing money somewhere by providing all of these services through one person, basically?
Well, we
I mean,
all.
is there money that can
need
be-
More, you need more help, but
Right, but that's obviously not happening at this moment, but I guess I'm just trying to put that out there. I don't know if you know what I mean? Okay.
okay, let's move on then for any questions on the main budget there, then 281.
Oh, no, it's so.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna go to 282.
Well, 281 is the one that we just talked about. And moving on to 282.
So no concerns. That is the building fund. Year-to-date revenues are 9,170. And I just put projected, we may get a few more donations for the building fund. I projected 10,000 for the year. That's-
Here.
If, it may not get to that, but that was my number. I just kind of threw out there.
Okay, 282. Okay,
Maybe the first, I think it's the first one.
okay, building fund, okay, yeah, so we've got more in and probably stay about the same.
About the same. It might get a little bit more.
So we do it, and remember, this is a non-lapsing fund, so at the beginning of the year, we had 18,000. So right now, we have roughly 27,000 in there. Okay, let's move on to,
Should be 284? The spay neuter fund. Did I not do it?
Yeah,
Why is it blank?
I don't know. I was gonna.
See, you know what happened? I got interrupted. I didn't even notice that. What did I do? Well, anyways, at least it's not the concern one. So I did it on the other sheet. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even notice. So I put probably total donations projected for 2025 at 43,000. And well, we're not really over budget because that's all in those donations, but I figure we're gonna probably be at about $30,000 by the end of the year in spay neuters. And that includes all of our animals and that includes the vouchers. And we are gonna get more money for aluminum cans before the end of the year. I've been getting about $550 to $650 per can load. And I just called them again because we're full, so they're coming to get one probably this weekend.
Okay, so from the fundraiser expense and everything, we've gotten about 25,000 in.
Yes.
And,
Build that out.
and then the donations, we budgeted 10,000 and we're at 33, so we were getting a lot of donations for that.
And I'm also getting another donation for vouchers from the Light Foundation before the end of the year.
Okay, yep. So again, so right now, looking at, and well, it shows levy on here, but
I'll fix it.
none of it hits the levy. So right now, we have about roughly $10,000 to the positive for income. And remember, we started out with 31,000, so at the beginning of the year. So again,
And there'll also be going, money, where did I write that? There'll be over $2,000 that I just deposited in there. I don't think it's on our sheet yet, but for, spay neuter as well. So there's gonna be,
so we're doing okay on that.
yeah, there'll be more going in. But I will fix this before the end of the meeting.
Okay, next one,
Gift fund.
good fun.
So gift fund I put for. And then the expenditures are 12,969.26. That's because of the panels that I ordered. Year-to-date revenues are $7,904. And then projected revenues for the end of the year, I put 12,000. And I want to say we don't really put like what we're, because I don't really ever know what we're getting put in there, I guess. So we had 2,000 for the budget. Year to date is a 7,904, so we're already over $5,904 in donations. So I just projected that to be 10 by the end of the year. Might be less. Or.
Okay, for the gift funds. Yeah, like she said, remember the only, why do we have gift fund expenses? 12,000, oh, that's the cages.
That's the cages,
All
yep.
that stuff and everything.
Cages, and there might have been a couple other, I think, veterinary things in there.
And so we've gotten in 7,000, well, almost 8,000 right now. And then there'll be some more. So right now, we have a deficit, if you will, of 5,000 for the year. But remember, the gift fund had the right one here. My pages are backwards in here. The gift fund started the year, so we have a deficit right now of 5,000. But the gift fund started out with the balance this year of $84,865. So I mean, well, from that. All of them? That's all of them?
Yep.
That you got, okay. So any questions for Dawn on the budget report? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the budget, monthly budget reports and forward them to finance.
Make the motion.
This is made and seconded to approve the monthly budget reports and forward to finance. All those in favor say aye.
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 Both say no, motion carried. Well, other thing on here is options for building and remodeling. Again, I guess the thing is everyone's frustrated because we're not moving forward and that it's, I think we need to think about, kind of out of the box and thinking ahead. There will be elections in April, so there will be a new county board. There'll could be a new committee here. We do have a temporary legal person, but that has to go. There'll be an RFP going out, I believe, to hire a new legal firm to handle this. So again, as far as dividing stuff up between city and county, that's still in limbo. It never, again, with all the changes and everything. But I think we have to kind of think outside the box and think going ahead. You know, we didn't want a lot of stuff to go back to the city, but maybe we should just say like, okay, to remodel the building, first thing would be to get a garage built because we got to move stuff out in order to you know, the food and all that's got to be moved out. We want to make the garage so that the vehicle can go in there easily also. And so the food can be stored there away from the rats and mice before we can even start remodeling the indoor garage, we'll call it, where the cats are. So maybe, I mean, the consensus of this committee that we should just go ahead and start looking at, I mean, we can't do anything now, but like for spring and everything, but start moving toward finding out what the cost of a garage would be, because we'll have to go to city council to get a building permit for the garage. I'm not optimistic that the division between city and county will happen for the animal shelter anytime soon. So let's keep in mind, do you want to move ahead with, looking at a garage? And what size and everything, get some estimates.
It's probably gonna be a 30 by 40 garage. That's like a standard. From what I seen, I did get a chance to go on and kind of look what a standard garage size is. I know we talked 40 by 40, but I think I didn't find any garages that they actually make in 40 by 40 unless you do a custom, because you can go buy like a kit or whatever and have someone build it for you that has all the parts and stuff in there. And so for a 30 by 40 garage, just for the stuff to build it is like, the high end would be like 25 grand. Now that doesn't include the concrete or the labor or insulation or electricity and all that stuff. So I would imagine it's gonna be probably.
So currently we have, we and the city own that property half and half, correct? And they also own half of the current animal shelter, right?
Well,
40%.
40, okay.
well,
What's gonna happen with this garage? Are we gonna ask them to pay half of it?
That's why I think before we even consider that.
That's why we have a problem.
Yes,
Yes.
we need
We
to,
don't know what's going
we
on.
need to first resolve the whole issue with the city.
the city will, as far as I know, will not pay anything.
Okay.
No, not necessarily, not
I'm
necessarily.
not comfortable with building a garage on there and we pay all of it and then.
When we divide or something, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
That's
wondering,
what
we
we,
need to talk to the city about buying them out, buying that.
well, that goes back to the problem again. All these buildings are all kind of jointly owned stuff and everything.
Maybe it work, so that would maybe somehow could work in with a trade-off somehow, but
Well, that's been mentioned for a couple of the other buildings, but
Nothing's been done yet. But no.
right, and
Yeah.
there's other dispute. Jeremy?
Oh, no, I was agreeing. Like, I know that we've all been in limbo, and that's why, like even during public comment, we hear the frustration about why can't we move forward with things for the animal shelter. And it comes down to that disagreement with the city that has to be resolved. It's not just the animal shelter that's impacted, right? It's
Correct.
affecting other areas of the county too. And it's an unfortunate situation, but we've got, at least some folks here on the animal shelter board that could maybe bring that up at the joint management meetings at some point.
Just so you know, Jeremy, I'm gonna be meeting, right after this meeting with, somebody from the city regarding all of this. They
It would be
wanna-
nice. Yeah, and thank
They
you.
wanna tone down all this nasty rhetoric. They wanna resolve the issues. And we at the county also have to be agreeable to resolving it, just as the city wants to resolve it. Okay, the fine details in terms of that is the negotiated part, which is fine. But first, we have to get sort of a consensus between the city, people who run the city, and the county who runs the county. And it's not just the animal shelter, it's also the library. It's also all of these commercial buildings that they have. It's also about the police chief.
Well, and it's, and the point that,
The ambulances and, you know, so all of that. First, we have to first see, okay, are you guys agreeable? Are you guys here agreeable to doing something about it? And then we sit down, you know, get a ad hoc committee or whatever you want and hash it all out.
right.
I hope to start doing that. That's
Yeah,
my, that's my goal.
it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that I'm not there in person because I'm absolutely under the gun at work today, so I can't, you know, do the extra hours worth of driving. But I think we've talked a little bit. I'm open to trying to do, you know, like, you know, a lunch. I will talk to anybody at the city to find out what they're feeling like in those regards. I know, as far as I'm concerned with the animal shelter, though, I know that the big things are, you know, can we move on with the garage to make life easier? Can we find money in a budget to get Dawn an extra head to start relieving some of the staff and make it a better place to be? And then the third thing is like, who actually should be paying for the animal control officer? Is it the county or the city? And then what kind of agreement do we have to make there? If we can talk about those three things in general, without even coming to an agreement, I think that's a great place to start. Just having the conversation is good.
Jeremy, I'm gonna be inviting you already to talk to everybody. Where
Okay.
you can sit down with them, okay?
All right. That sounds good. Thank you.
You're gonna go there with an big olive branch, don't have a big olive tree and say,
Hey,
Sometimes it takes that. Sometimes it takes that. But, you know,
no,
Here,
remember the
just as-
olive branch, if it's big enough, is just a big stick.
well,
You can
that's
swing it.
that too. That too. Sometimes it takes both, you know?
hey.
Speak softly and carry a big stick. I remember somebody saying that.
Yes.
Yes. So, but yeah, I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but I'm on board with that. And
It'll be
again,
after hours, Jeremy.
Yep. Cool. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna mute myself now. I see Tony over there smiling.
Okay, then I guess we will just hold off on anything about that now, because I've been involved in many negotiations with the city and
Good luck, you're saying, right?
yeah.
But hey, still gotta try to figure it out.
I think the drama has to be toned down.
Yep.
I think there has to be a willingness on more on the city parts and the county side to negotiate. You've been just abruptly kicked out regarding the ambulance already. I think, yeah, because I've been through a lot of that with them, so I know the cast very well. Okay, let's move on then. The animal shelter and the humane officer report.
All right. Little notes. Okay, so let's do what we got sitting over there right now. How many you need? Three? How many is it? Three.
And,
Need one more?
yeah,
Thank you.
I think it's just, Julie should do it just to get the number.
Yeah, that's all I need.
All right. So right now, currently, there are 60 animals that are in our inventory. We have one dog that's in foster to adopt right now. We have a mom and two little kittens that are in foster home right now. Oh, I didn't write down the other ones. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6 dogs that are actually in the kennel. And then, all of those dogs, or 3 of those dogs are getting fixed on next Wednesday, and they're all hopefully will find a home. Gala is getting adopted today. She got fixed yesterday at Lady Smith Vet. And then, let's see. So when you look at these, I just want to point out, you're gonna see that Pete and Pee Wee have been at the shelter for 1 year and 3 months, okay? Now, not technically though. They've only been there technically they are our property for 3 months. They're part of that seizure. That's the only reason they've been there that long. That seizure ended sometime in August. So they're up for adoption. They weren't up for adoption for 1 year because of that seizure. So it's really only 3 months. So I don't want anybody to think I'm just hanging on to them. But, and the other ones that have been there, say 5 months or whatever, they actually, were very little when they got there. So if a lot of these little kittens were anywhere from 3 weeks to 5 weeks at our shelter. So that's why they've been there. But you can look at those. I don't need to read all these out. Mostly cats, lots of cats. And, Posey still lives in my office. Needs a home.
Atticus too.
Atticus got adopted. Posey's was his replacement.
Yeah, Atticus too.
So
What about Groot?
who?
Groot.
Groot, he's the dog in the foster home. Foster to adopt.
Oh, huh?
So he's foster to adopt because when they want to adopt him, but when 2 days before his adoption, he was out screwing around outside and he had a limp. So we did a foster to adopt because I needed to make sure he was, so, I'm like, I didn't want to adopt them a dog that all of a sudden was had issues. So they've got him, he's on cage arrest. So we're just waiting to make sure okay. But he was out there, seeing a dog. So the other thing, I have 14 cats. That were all strays, and these are moms with kittens that are waiting to come into the shelter. I have asked the finders to hang on to them for me and to not allow them to get outside and get pregnant again, and they all have kittens. I have nowhere to go with them. No more kennels. There's no putting kennels anywhere. There's no room. So all of the finders have been very great, and I said, I'll give you food, whatever you need, just please don't let the moms go. Don't let the kittens go. Just hang on to them. And I'm kind of I don't have any more cases. So,
So it's kind of like a foster situation almost?
well, because they called and they want to bring them in, I'm like, you just hang on to them. Like, there's nowhere for them to go. If I bring them in, animals are gonna have to go to Jesus. And I'm not doing that. So they're gonna hang on to them for me until I can get them in. These are just stray cats that are wandering around and show up with kittens on, here, there, or wherever. And these people were nice enough to grab them so that they wouldn't end up being more feral or whatever they are and then get pregnant again. And who knows, the moms could be pregnant for all I know, but at least they're not outside. So those are waiting to come in. What else did I have? Oh, and then, I wrote, let's see, 89 citations. In the past, I don't know, a couple weeks here, 3 weeks maybe. And those are for failure to renew dog licenses. Those aren't like, they're humane officer, but they're because they didn't renew their licenses. So those all went,
This year?
that's for 2025.
Strictly county or a county city?
It's everything.
Both.
Well, I got whatever list I got, that's, and there's Lady Smith, there's every township.
Okay.
So that's everybody. And but those are only dog licenses. And then we did 19 adoptions since the last meeting, so that was 16 cats and 3 dogs. And I have a dog getting adopted today, so. And managed to forget something. Oh, I was gonna mention, so we did the Barry Heath did the Back to the 80s appraiser. And I have a total for that, and that's for spay neuter specifically. That was $2,428. So $225 in tickets were sold at the animal shelter, and then $100 donation was made to the animal shelter to go toward that. And then the rest of the money was raised at the actual fundraiser for tickets or whatever they were doing. That's it.
Okay, any questions for Dawn, for the animal shelter or main officer?
51.
Okay. If not, we'll move on. Budget review, we've already done that. So the next thing on the agenda is to approve the bills. I'll need a motion to approve the bills.
$6.
Make a motion to approve the bills.
Is there a second? Okay, the motion is made and seconded to approve bills. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carried. Fracas report.
Okay, yes.
Excuse me.
We have a couple other members of practice here, and so Jeff would like to tell you a little bit more about the fundraiser, something positive.
Yeah, and I need to be out of here right at 10, so I'll try to talk really quickly. The spay neuter funded Porch Pot fundraiser again. If you don't I should probably bring in about $11,000 for the spay neuter fund. You might recall last December, Joanne Spooner and Tom and I partnered on matching income for the holiday. We're going to offer that again. Since you're gone next week, Dawn, we were hoping to start December 1, but maybe that week you're back. We'll have to pull Nicole in to do the posting, but it was really successful last year. So we're offering up $3,000. So if we meet the match, that'll double to $6,000. We'll run it for a couple of weeks and do a little storytelling. Joanne has been very generous. She's supporting 3/4 of it, and Tom and I will do 1/4 of it. So we're very excited about that. It really, it ginned up a lot of new donors last year, from small to larger. So
Yeah, I think it was about 7 something. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
7,500.
I think, yeah,
We
something.
ended up with, and that went to general fund though. What we were thinking about, and we're open for other suggestions, Dawn. We're thinking about that could go to vet services and supplies. Because that is something that
I just don't have a line item for that.
right.
That's
Well-
the problem.
Well, you do have, the one thing was,
Yeah, where you said that actually it was,
Say that again?
you had that one line where
Right.
you said it was basically for vaccinations.
But but I don't have a deposit. I can't deposit money in there.
Or you cannot.
That's not a deposit money. That's the problem.
Actually.
That's the budget money. Unless I can deposit, I have no idea. I mean, I did deposit money into the training.
Right, so you could do it that.
If I can,
that, I mean, we need it there,
Let-
and it's also a
Well,
good storytelling.
let me. So I have to talk to finance because I would need the deposit number for that actual line item. I don't have one.
Oh,
That's right. They did give me a deposit number for the training. So whatever
so
the,
they gave you a deposit.
because that's how I was able to deposit money into
Okay.
the training account. Because that's not a normal place I put money into.
Yeah,
well, and I know they said no to you, but it could be pursued further, couldn't it? That could be a separate
Well-
fund itself,
I think,
just like the gift, the building and spay and neuter.
Right, and for some reason, I
A lot of money
they're
that
not
goes
letting me
into
do
that.
that.
Yeah, you said they were, that's something we can look into.
Cause I had asked about that once. Well, cause even, yeah, there's a new finance person. I know I have to have a meeting with them, but.
So there's a gift fundraiser as well.
It's for donations to.
But I will figure out, I just obviously have the time.
It's a
Would
space.
that be something you'd like the money to go to, Dawn?
Yes, that's where most of our money, that's, the majority of our expenses are veterinary. And especially supply, like I order, I don't take animals to the vet and get them deworming. All those supplies are ordered. They are expensive because you have to get, usually they're in bulk. But when it comes down to it per animal, it is significantly cheaper than me buying a single dose, from a vet clinic, unless it's like some, huge, something I don't use much, then I'll just go to the vet and get it.
Specialty.
Yeah, like NextScar, we have a 108-pound Saint Bernard there right now. So giving a 108-pound Saint Bernard certain things is costly. So if I just go get, because I don't want to have to order, $500 worth of something I'll only use once. So then I'll go to the vet and get him, if he needs something for big dogs. But yeah, most of the expenses are obviously veterinary and the supplies that I order.
Do you think we can, because we really want to get this kicked off the first week of December, would we be able to have that determined? So
When can we go?
Story on.
No. Can we ask her today if there's a way?
Was it a gift fund?
Oh, Tony, I need you to sign
Was it
that.
a gift fundraiser?
Keep it.
Do it specifically for the vet services and supplies.
Oh, okay.
The gift fund, I can't,
Sign
the
it.
gift fund
But
is,
there's no.
not for that.
How's it gone in?
Sorry.
it went to general fund last year.
We only did it last year, first time.
But at the end of the year, whatever's left in general fund doesn't stay at the animal shelter. And that's
That's why we want to try to avoid that.
a problem. I guess that's a problem for me because those are donations.
It's doing a sing fund.
Right, which it is what it is. But if I could have another fund like the gift fund and the spay neuter fund and the building fund, I just, unless I can put it directly into that budget line.
And I think you can.
So the,
Check.
But is it gonna roll over then?
Oh, yeah.
If it's in that line?
Oh, no, it won't roll over.
Okay, well, I
It'll
don't-
disappear at the end of the year.
Well, that's a problem for me.
so.
I need another,
the
I
que-
don't want the donations from the community to disappear at the end of the year because they go into the general,
Yeah.
which is, I get it. I'm not saying like, huh?
Shouldn't be Terry.
But they do.
But they did last year.
Unless it's a non-lapsing fund. And we
Yeah.
have trouble getting,
So all those donations last year that went in general fund, they paid for the overage, absolutely. But there was money left over that was,
that's in that fund.
and it was gone the next year.
And the only way you're getting around it now,
The Beata. She's very good.
no, we gotta,
Maybe I can get it back. Is that what you're telling me?
no,
Just think they're helping the animals.
No, we're gonna fix it.
Yeah, it can allow.
It's, I don't know if I can get it back, but it's.
you won't get it back.
Get it back.
Won't get it back.
So I need another line item.
The question is, who requires all these line items for you? Who?
Finance,
This is,
Does it have to be so many line items here
that's the chart of accounts for the county.
for the county?
yeah.
And you see that on all of them. You
I mean,
never
some
get.
of these I don't, a lot of
You
these. I-
never get these reports for the other. entities.
So you don't,
Don't let me.
you think that you can get deposit number to put it into that,
348.
Okay, so Terry just told me that if I do that, that money will be also gone at the end of the year.
Right.
And I don't want that to
they
happen
take that too?
Well, it's in.
We have an over.
because it's a budget. It's not
Yeah,
really a.
Yeah, it just,
deposit.
they just close everything out and it all goes into,
All goes in.
retained earnings, but it just goes into the general fund.
Fund, okay.
So
Yeah.
that's, so with these line items right here are not deposit lines for me.
Okay.
These are what the budget
Right,
is.
it's only down here.
The only, right, so the only places I can actually deposit donations is the building fund, the gift fund, and the spay neuter fund. and the general fund, but the general fund, if I say I put $20,000 in there and they take 10 to cover my overness, the other 10
Goes on.
goes to the county.
Yep.
And I'm not saying anything bad, that's just the way it is, but
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen this next. So I really need the money to go to our major costs, and then the county wouldn't be having to pay all this extra because I would have a place to put it.
Right.
That's what I need.
That's
A one that's not gonna disappear at the end of the year,
non-lapse,
Something you, yeah.
non-lapsing.
Explain that to Beata, so.
but that's not going to, I don't think that'll happen this year. I mean, to get it done in a month. I don't know, maybe. We can-
Well, we used, and maybe we, because I know a while ago, we did have another deposit fund.
No,
What was
that,
it called?
that was an endowment fund, and that was for the building, and that's long gone.
So how hard is it just to create another?
Well, can those funds just be held by you guys until we get it set
Where
up?
am I gonna put them?
I'm sorry.
Can they just be held then by you until we get it set up where it?
By fracas,
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, could we still say it in all the posting we do, that that's what it's for?
Yeah.
They don't need to know the
where it is.
behind the scenes, but then it'll get next year when we can do it, we'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing, Tractor Supply, we did the meet and greet almost 3 weeks ago. We didn't have as many animals adopted as a result. However, we had quite a few people come in. Quite a few people brought supplies. The big score, the district manager was there talking for quite some time, and they do want to partner with us. We talked about a pallet program. They are willing to order pallets of litter for us, give us a price break. We will store it there.
Oh,
So that will stop Dawn from having to run to Walmart all the time. Need to work with him on pricing. They'll give us 5%. Their pricing on non-clumping is cheaper anyway than Walmart. And then I think the district manager will give us another 5. We need to talk to him about that. So we will need to store some there. The pallet will stay there. Non-clumping probably for sure. I want to get Dawn out there and talk with them and just get pricing and our needs, because maybe also clumping litter, but they do want to partner with us. We hope to do meet and greets maybe quarterly. But they are very gung ho about partnering with us, so we need to take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
And then hopefully we can, if we can get things worked out at the facility, have a little room to store. I told Dawn, Tom and I will go, she just needs to call us periodically when she needs it. We'll go pick it up and deliver it. They don't charge credit card fees. We've already got the tax exempt thing on file there, so we should be able to get rocking and rolling. We just need to decide what it is we want them to bring in and get the pricing.
great. Great. Anything
As
else?
far as the fundraiser, we're trying to do the matching fund. Last year, I think we started at 2, that was gonna be the goal, to raise 2. And then people kept donating some, so then we raised it a second time and said, okay, we're gonna do further matching. But this year, I just thought maybe we'll just go for the 3 and try to be done with it, especially if the time frame's a little shorter too. But we're also not sure how it'll go this year, with the situation as far as finances, and a lot of people are already, overextended with their own budgets, that we don't know how it'll turn out, but we're going to try it and see, and hopefully, work out. We'll raise something.
Does Tractor Central also sell drugs? Or-
Oh, what?
The drugs, that you use.
Oh, no, my drugs that I get are the cheapest you're gonna get, because I go through veterinary supply companies. Those are prescription drugs.
Oh, prescription.
Those are drugs that you can only buy. I have a vet that is what do you call it? He doesn't work for us, but he's a volunteer vet that I use, and I order stuff you can't buy, but through a veterinary company.
Because I know of Lane's in Rice Lake also sells drugs for your animals, for your cattle and stuff,
Right, but I get these in bulk,
Oh,
and they're for dogs. Yep.
And
Yep.
cheaper.
Oh, yes.
But you could get them at.
Yep, because they are bought in bulk prior to being distributed. So I get them and I get, Actually, I pay less in the vet clinics because we are a government animal shelter, so I get pretty good discounts, not on everything, but my vaccines that I go through 100 a month probably, if not more, I get awesome prices. So,
Okay, anything else?
Okay, yes, okay, so, I'm Paula Carroll, and, usually I come here and I chew on you, Terry, but
I know.
I'm gonna be nice today. And, well, pretty nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I will start that, just for those of you as old as me, which probably is just Tony and Terry and me. In the olden days, for your information, townships handled all their animal things by themselves, but then they also got to keep all their revenues by themselves. And so when the animal shelter was first started 40 years ago, what they did in lieu of them having their own dog catchers and whatever, they agreed to, and then now they're gonna get taxed. And now they don't have their own program. So that was a huge improvement, and I'm just telling you that in case you aren't as old as me. Okay, then the other thing is, I was gonna chew on you about no action on the building or the new employee. But that's one of the beauties of us being at the end is I found out Jeremy and Tony, you have kind of like taken the lead on this. And I am so grateful that at least one step is being made. I mean, moving forward, I just can't tell you enough. Thank you so much for starting it. And the other little comment that I will chew on you about though, Terry, is 2 years ago, you said we couldn't do anything because elections were coming up and we had to wait till after elections. And I heard that come out of your mouth again today. That now we can't do anything, shouldn't do anything until after elections because we're gonna have a new county board. No, but I'm so glad that Jeremy and Tony are gonna go ahead. Who cares when the elections are? Just keep moving forward. And I say thank you very much. The other thing that you brought up, Terry, that was excellent, or maybe Tony did, is why take that money out of our budget, the city, if it wasn't put in the first place? So to me, that's an accounting situation that maybe the auditor or whatever you call her now, the financial executive or whatever, has to look at that, because if it's not in the budget, you can't take it out of the budget. And then is that going to be every year that you're going to take that out of the budget? There's something with the accounting that I don't understand that needs to be fixed about that amount of money. I mean, it's nice for everybody to know that that's what we're short because of it, but we have to move on. And I'm sure that the financial person can figure that out. Okay, then, yes, Tony, I totally agree with you. We should get the dog, just like the townships. When the townships had their own program, they kept the license fees. But when they became part of the total county program, they gave us their fees, and the city should be that too. When they had their own little program and paid their 40%, they kept their money, but now they aren't part of that. They need to fork it over. And so if there's some between you and Jeremy, nice way you can do that without getting them mad about the other more, other things that are important too, that would be great.
They are doing that.
It's cat fees though.
This year, cat fees, that's completely different.
Well, it should be. So get working on the cats
because
because
they're using our services for free.
Cats, that's why.
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
Get cat expenses. So if
Yes,
there's any revenue,
there you go.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Okay, also, let's see, okay, did that. Tony and Jeremy are taking care of that, license fees, the budget thing. Okay, another thing you talked about last month is why is the security system for the animal shelter coming out of the animal shelter budget? Because every other department around here, and Connie would be able to say, isn't paying for their own security system. So why is the animal shelter separated out and you have to pay for that? It isn't registering in my brain why that is. That's not right. Either everybody pays their own security or the county property or whatever pays for it. So that is something that you really need to look at because that's a big amount.
Well,
because the way the animal shelter and the library and all those other buildings, they're not really county things. They're like a separate entity.
They
that
are now though. Now the animal shelter is a county thing because the city,
Not on paper, I don't think.
well, it's on
mean,
the
it's-
paper that they said that they withdrew.
Right, but it is, but I think they still own.
Owned.
Honey?
It's still jointly owned.
Okay, well, then that's complications, but I'm sure you can figure it
As
out.
soon as Tony takes care of that.
Okay, good man. Okay, now, this is another thing that I really don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna talk anyway.
Sorry, you can talk.
Yeah, okay,
I have
is that at the federal level,
prostate
for
issue.
sure, and maybe at the state, I don't know what it's called, and I think there's terms for it. When they have a big law or a big bill that's happening, in order to get people on their, in the federal Congress to agree to it, they say, well, if you vote for our big project, then we're gonna add your little project to it. This would be a perfect example, and you're in charge of that big project, aren't you, Terry? The jail and the highway shop, which I totally agree we need. But gee, you could go to other county board members and say, maybe will you support this big thing? And will you agree to like add the animal shelter on there? Like Tony said last month, the animal shelter is a little pittance of what we need for a person and a building. And if they can do it at the Fed level, and they can do it at the state level, we should be able to do it at the county level. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I guess that's the way politics goes, and get it taken care of.
That's the jail and the proposed jail and proposed highway shop are capital projects. They are not a budget item per se. That is bonding for that. You cannot bond for normal operations.
And we don't want you to. We want you to bond for the building of the garage and the addition to the animal shelter. Those are capital budgets or whatever you call them, and they're not normal operation. I'm just saying, it's an idea.
It's an idea, but I'll tell you right now what the vote will be. We're having a hard enough time to get the other thing passed, and it hasn't passed yet.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let you work on that because it would be an idea that you could maybe do that.
And just a correction, I did not say we couldn't move ahead with stuff or anything like that. I just said we've got to be forward thinking and look to the future, and these things are coming up fairly soon. I didn't say we couldn't move ahead or do anything. I just simply said you've got to take all of this into consideration moving forward.
so, but nothing was moved forward in the last 2 years. So now it looks like between Jeremy and Tony, things are moving forward. Thank you so much. And see, so I kept it pretty positive.
Well, well, thank you, Joanne. I gotta say,
This is Paul.
I haven't done much yet. I'm open to having the conversations with the city. I know that Terry and Tony both have been working hard in their capacities to help with that relationship.
Well, you
and
did
you
a
know-
bad thing. You said it in front of us. So
Did I?
thank you ahead of time. Yes, that you were going to do that.
Yes,
thank you
yep,
very
thank you.
much.
Yep, I'm trying to stay humble here, but I do appreciate the support and, me trying to work with everybody here and keep things moving. And I do want to say a second thing. I know that we were just talking about capital projects. Mr. Kudo here has talked about, what are alternative things that we could do with monies that were allocated for capital projects. Should either the jail or the county shop not move forward, or those funds are not exhausted, it may be worth considering if something, for the animal shelter does fall under those categories. I know that we think it may not, but that is something that Mr. Kudo has talked about at the larger board meeting.
When I iterate, the last time I was only at one county board meeting, the lawyer that we had, he indicated that those funds, those 9 million that we bonds issued that we issued, those funds, if they decide not to go ahead with the jail or the highway shop or whatever, those funds can only be used for capital improvements, which means a building, which means the county fairgrounds buildings,
Mhm.
which means any of the other buildings that they own, or the renovation of this
The
jail,
animal shelter would fit in there.
or the animal shelter. Okay, or the library.
There you go.
It cannot be used for anything else, can't be used for road construction. Okay, any of those other issues that the
Yes.
county is faced with.
That's very hopeful.
So, I don't know if any of the other board members caught that slight comment by the lawyer, okay? Because I remember some of the other guys were talking about, well, we can, do this or that. No, it's strictly for capital improvements.
That's right up our alley.
Okay.
But I have to wonder then, did the attorney actually know that, like, for example, the animal shelter is a joint venture right now that
Yeah,
I
because
think we got to get that,
that tie needs to be severed because
that's got to
you
be,
start putting money into the animal shelter and building garages and it's still joint owned and all of a sudden, who knows? And then someone comes in and says, oops, sorry, we own half of this.
that mean,
We
that
don't want
needs to be
that.
our
It
priority.
needs to be,
That's what I said.
Solely owned by the county.
Involved is,
That
and
property,
that is the problem.
land, and that building.
and it's not just that project, it's all the other projects.
Solve whatever interest the city has in that and make it 100% county.
But just a reminder, there is debt on that building and the city is paying part of that debt. So it's not, you just can't you're making this all in the black and white. It's not.
So can you tell me how much debt is still on that building? You guys the county took out a loan or the city took out a loan for that
The city joint,
jointly? And how much is still outstanding?
I think it's supposed to be paid off by 2027 or 2029. The city pays $7,000 a year as their portion.
40%.
No, you can't go by the 40%.
That's just on they pay 40%
That was
on
just
the
the operating
operations.
cost. That was the
Front of
prior
the building.
agreement.
So,
It's nothing to do with anything else.
and then how much does the county pay? If the
The
city,
rest of it,
well, that's what I'm trying to find out. What is
The
the,
monthly bill, like how much do we literally,
well, it's paid once a year.
Well, if it's not 40%, it would have to be half, right?
No,
I just get a bill for the whole works.
right.
and how much was that?
No, not just the animal shelter. It's like everything.
Oh,
Everyone joint buildings.
oh, so you'd have to dig in there and figure out exactly what.
I have a number someplace, but
Tell me what's owed and I give it to finance.
You need that.
Those are things we need to figure out and find out
Right.
what the balance is.
That's got to be our priority. We need to get that animal shelter 100% county.
Along that line, can I just offer some other thought? In my opinion, we have enough money in the building fund, the gift fund, the
Friends,
Friends group to build the garage and do the remodeling.
Mhm.
I pledged money years ago to do a new building or remodeling or whatever it is. Now, if you can come up with some kind of exchange of buildings between city and council, I would be happy to donate a good amount of money to give the city and say, okay, here, you get this building and you get this cash. Okay, give the shelter to the county.
I'm going to share a little bit inside information. The city would also like to do that with the county as far as the sheriff issue is concerned, where the sheriff is occupying a certain building.
Mhm.
There's another building in Bruce that's available. City would be willing to share, provide monies to transfer the sheriff out of the existing Gates building to this other building. So, I mean, they are willing to do that. Key is to get all the people involved, sit down and work out those things. Before you start spending all your money that you have saved up
I wouldn't be spending all my money.
No.
I already said that I was going to give money to the shelter.
Right,
It's sitting there.
right, okay.
If it sweetens the pot, I would love to do it. That's all I'm telling you right
Yes,
now.
Yes, and that information is gonna get transferred, just so you know.
Okay.
So the thing is, we first have to resolve,
Yes, I understand all of that.
once
yeah.
that gets resolved, all those other things will fall in place. At least that's my,
Yes, and I'm glad you have a positive attitude because for months and, well, year,
Well, it's been, I think part of the
we had
issue is it's
very big
because it's,
tensions.
this happened in December 2024. So it has been almost a year now where it's just been, okay, well, we have to fix, like, it has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with them or the animal shelter. It is the county board and the city. They have to talk about this, and it's been a year and.
and that's because there's so many other issues
Right. Right.
tied together with this thing.
Right.
So
It's a slow process, but it's
It was a year
frustrating, but it's
before that,
frustrating.
Even when there were great tensions and a lot of conflict going on.
There,
So you have
it's
to
frustration.
understand where we're coming from. We had a lot of problems. We didn't have a nice meeting like we do with you here, the last two meetings and this year.
We won't talk about the December meetings.
Right. Anyway, I'm just saying that I'm very glad that you've got a positive attitude and you're gonna work towards it because we need it and we have others.
and don't expect too much because like I say, we're still,
Yes, and we know that.
you know,
Baby steps.
Trying. The baby's going backwards at this point, but we'll get there.
Okay, anything else? Any other comments? Anybody? Okay, then I would just like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And we are adjourned at 10:19.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Can't believe I
Happy
did.
Thanksgiving.
Joe.